Mark Schlereth now joining us live. Fox Sports, 3 Super Bowls. By the way, it's interesting. You were around. You were on Winning Culture, so you had the Elway culture, and I think about this all the time. I was in for a year and a half in my career. It's the only time in my 30 years of doing this I was at a bad shop. Employees were great, management wasn't. I hated it. Were you ever? Give me the worst year of your career when you just felt like I'm driving to the stadium, and we're going to get walloped today, and what it's like.
Yeah, Colin, for me, probably 1994 playing for the the Washington football team. But I'll never forget lining up against the Dallas Cowboys, and I was out early, short snapping out early, and their offense was warming up, and I was just taking inventory of their offense. And, when something like Mark Tuinei, Nate Newton, Mark Stepnowski, Larry Allen. It had Eric Williams, Jay Novacek, Moose Johnson, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and I don't know, maybe Alvin Harper or somebody like that. And I'm taking inventory, watching them warm up, and I'm thinking to myself, we don't have one guy on our offense that can start on this team. Like, we're going to get our ass whooped. And sure enough, they did. That was like you go into those situations going, we don't have a chance. And that's just tough.
Yeah. So you did the Rams-Vikings, or you're doing it, so you're starting to look at that film. So I know you watched that game last night because you're going to do that game, and then you watch the Vikings on Monday. And maybe it's a little Ed McCaffrey. Matt Stafford threw him open a bunch, and then Cooper Kupp gets open a bunch. But what do you think? I mean, he's not the biggest receiver. He's not the fastest receiver. What is the secret sauce to Cooper Kupp, in your opinion?
I think that Cooper Kupp sees the game just like his quarterback sees the game. So when Cooper Kupp is playing, he just understands routes, route combinations, defense, leverage, all that stuff. And he sees it while he's running full speed the same way the quarterback sees it behind the line of scrimmage. And they are just completely mind melted in pretty much every situation. Cooper Kupp is one of those guys that's, faster than you think, more athletic than you think. He's tougher than you think. He just does everything exceptionally well. His wide receiver coach, Eric Yarbrough, always tells him, make sure you wear dark black shoes, look as slow as you possibly can, because you're going to sneak up on a lot of dudes. And that's what Cooper Kupp does. He sneaks a lot of dudes. Plus, literally, they play a 3-wide set, but he oftentimes is the F receiver, which is your movement receiver. But also, he plays the F receiver as though he were the backup, the secondary tight end. So he's cutting off on the backside. He's on the line of scrimmage, man. He does a lot of things for their football team and creates a lot of opportunities for other players when he doesn't have the ball in his hands.
So I listened to you, Cowboys-Giants game. Cowboys won it, and I said, it'd be very easy to say Dak's not throwing the ball down the field. He was yelling, kill, 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 kill throughout the course of the game. They're not taking any risks. And then part of me said, okay, but Dak's facing a backup across the field. The defense is really good. Giants aren't moving the ball. And part of me thinks Dak's at the line of scrimmage thinking, we're losing this game one way. I make a big mistake. So I don't care about the stats. I got my bag, and I'm confident in who I am. So I think I said it's easy for me to go out there and go, Dak doesn't throw the ball down the field. But I also think there's a self-awareness component that a lot of quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, and Dak's still fairly young, don't have. And so as you watch the game, what's your interpretation of the data which suggests the Cowboys are dink and dunk a majority of their passing game?
Yeah, they probably have been to a degree. Much too much. Like Dak, and I talked to Dak about his health and where he is since that week 6 calf injury that he missed week 8 on. And, they had a bye week and all this, that, and the other. And, he swears up and down, and I love this about him. I am 100% healthy. I feel great. I feel as good as I've ever felt. But there's certainly something in that passing game that is not quite in sync. One of the things they really wanted to work on, Colin, was their outside run game. And I thought they did a pretty good job of exploiting the edge of the Giants defense with both Zeke Elliott and Pollard. So I think they accomplished that. I just think they need to start pushing it down the field more. And that is, they're out of rhythm to a degree. But then you look at, hey man, Gallup has missed a bunch of time. Amari Cooper missed 2 games. CeeDee Lamb missed a game. Tyron Smith has missed 4 games now. At the left tackle position. They've rotated the left guard, trying to figure that thing out. So there's been a little bit of a lack of continuity, coupled with the fact that, Dak was hurt, and your body is the greatest compensation machine ever created. So if you have a little something that's bothering you, your body will compensate for that. And I think that's some of what's gone on here with Dallas Cowboys offense, and something they just need to continue to work through.
It's interesting watching Seattle last night. I feel they've been a house of cards the last several years. I've had multiple executives in the league, because they know I'm from Seattle, tell me the exact same thing. I can never figure out the Seahawks drafting. It's weird. They use words like strange and weird. They have reaches. They've made a bunch of whiffs. DK Metcalf, I still think works only because he has an elite quarterback. I don't think he really runs routes. I just think he's big, strong, and can really run. And, it seems it'd be crazy, right? Pete Carroll's their greatest coach ever. They won a Super Bowl. But, their Pat Riley used to always say, the great Pat Riley, after about 10 years, people need a different voice. And I do feel like Pete and Russell, it's just time to break it up. And you're not going to, whoever you're going to keep, I would keep the quarterback. But I think they're in a rebuild. Mark, I don't think they're close. I don't think they have a good O-line. I don't. Where do you think Seattle is at today?
Yeah, I think that offensively there's no question they've struggled. And I think there is some lack of continuity there between coaching staff and quarterback. I think there's also some frustration when, we point the finger to the O-line, we point the finger to lack of running game. But I guarantee you, if you broke down all the sacks, a lot of them are on Russell. A lot of them are the way he operates. And then, sometimes you put yourself into harm's way. Like, you take a guy like Damian Lewis, who to me, when he was, I think the year before, he was the right guard. And I remember studying him going, man, this kid is playing as well as any rookie guard I've seen. Then all of a sudden you put him at left guard and he struggles. That's a tough transition. So, to me, why would you take a kid that was kind of all rookie at right guard and all of a sudden think that you're going to make a move and put him at the left guard position and think there isn't going to be a learning curve there? Some of those decisions don't make a lot of sense to me, Colin. So, yeah, there's something missing there, and I don't know if there is, a relational, just kind of headbutt that's going on between Russell and Pete. But I will say this. You go into that facility, man, the competition, the energy, everything is amazing.
Yes.
So if something doesn't fit, and I'm not sure why that is, but something certainly doesn't fit.
All right. If I said to you, there's going to be a team that's going to make the playoffs, and we know there's going to be an upset in the playoffs. We know a 7's going to beat a 1 or a 6 is going to be a 2. It's going to happen, Mark. Nobody wants to admit it. If I said to you, there's a couple teams, there's a team in the AFC or NFC, they're going to be the team that upsets somebody. Who's it going to be and why?
Be the Indianapolis Colts. Because there are things, we always say this, defense travels come playoff time. The run game travels come playoff time. Physicality travels come playoff time. You go back to last year's playoffs, Colin, you and I have talked about this. Last year's playoffs, you show me the team that won the physical battle, the battle of the trenches. I'll show you the team that won 100% of the playoff games all the way through to the Super Bowl last year. That travels. That works. In Indianapolis, they just come out and punch people in the mouth. It's unbelievable. Jonathan Taylor is incredible. What do they have, 8 wins on the season? I think he's got 100 yards in all 8 wins. I mean, the guy has just been phenomenal. They just control and dominate the line of scrimmage. And, you can win a game in a dominant fashion with a special teams touchdown and everything else when your quarterback goes 5 of 12. Like 5 in a league where every rule is constructed to throw the football. Every rule is bent toward the success of the quarterback. He goes 5 for 12, should have probably thrown 4 picks, and you still win a game against a team in New England that was on a 7-game win streak.
Yeah.
I mean, that travels. And I guarantee you, people are hoping. They're hoping that Indianapolis does not get into the playoffs because nobody wants to face them.
Finally, I always ask you a Broncos question. You're on the most popular sports talk radio show in that market, and you played there and you know it. So, listen, I'm not a Drew Lock fan. He's too casual. I just think he's too casual with the football. He's not the future. I love Teddy Bridgewater, but he's been banged up again. He's not the future. So I love their new GM. I think he's sharp. I love their roster. I think they're ready to win now if you give them an elite quarterback. I've said I think they're Tampa before Tom. I had all the pieces. They just needed a little upgrade at right tackle and a new quarterback, and they win a Super Bowl. I think Denver's the same thing. Little upgrade on the O-line maybe, the right quarterback, and I think they could win a Super Bowl. Give me as you take calls and talk to the city and the market and the organization, what's Denver going to look like at quarterback? What's their mission? They may not accomplish it, but what are they going to try to do by next year?
Well, I think they are going to, I think they're going to leave no stone unturned when it comes to continuing to pursue Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, or if Deshaun Watson stuff gets cleared up, they're going to pursue a veteran kind of elite level quarterback if they can get one. So I don't think there's any question that that's the direction. I think they feel very much the same way you do. They paid their receivers on the outside. They have a rookie wide receiver. Their running backs are phenomenal. In Gordon, and Javonte Williams is one of the best, most physical runners in football. So I'm 100% with you. I think that's the way they feel. So I would assume they're going to pursue a veteran in a trade, try to see if they can't get themselves a great one that way. And if you can't do that, then you're probably going to have to dip into the draft and see if you can get one. And I don't know if that means bringing back Teddy Bridgewater or if that means, finding yourself a free agent. But, yeah, it's a bit of a mess right now. They've got to go out there and find themselves a guy that they can rely on. And I think that, like I said, the veteran that's tradable is the guy they're going to try to go after.
Good stuff, Mark. Happy holidays to you and your fam.
Merry Christmas, buddy. Always good talking to you.
Mark Schlereth, who this week is doing the Rams-Vikings game on Sunday. Interesting game because the Rams, now they've got it rolling. Arizona's falling. Can the Rams win the division? It's funny, Joy. I looked at all these standings this week. You just forget on this stuff. We got a lot. Arizona can end up in third place very easily. If you look at Arizona's schedule, it's two big potential losses. So this thing, that NFC West, we do not know who's won that yet. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.